can't believe how much it looks like Foster's. You got every last detail. You're the nicest person I ever met. Aw, you're the nicest. I swear it's like you don't have one mean bone in your body.
Guys, I'm sorry to bring this up. I mean,
Could remind you of Foster's while you stay here.
Oh, how thoughtful. You're too good to me. I can't believe it. It looks exactly like Foster's.
So, by the way, when I was a kid, this was my favorite cartoon that I used to watch on Cartoon Network. I don't know why nowadays there's no this kind of like cartoons. I think it's called like Imaginary Friends and stuff. And you can see now the house where like different imaginary friends used to live are actually like being shrunken into tiny, and now Frankie Frankie. So Frankie now tends to look like a giantess character because she is able first to carry the house and then to even try to peek or take a peek from different window of this tiny house to look inside where like other characters are inside the tiny house. So it means all those characters who are inside the house, they're actually being shrunken down into tiny size. So which is crazy. And this is actually my childhood cartoon that I used to love, and I still love it. So that's why you can see, since I found this clip and I said, you know what, let me do a little bit of my own review about this scene, because I never expected to get like a giantess scenes and a miniature scenes in this cartoon, which is crazy. If you don't know the actual cartoon's name, it's called The Imaginary Friends, which is actually crazy.
I'm so glad you like it.
Someone took away the TVs and replaced them with...
So, okay, now you can see here, I don't know the actual name of the character because I already forgot it, because as you can see this cartoon I used to watch when I was a kid. So I think they're actually like in the freak mode, or I can say crash out mode, because since now they actually see an eye, a big eye, that is actually staring from the window, they're actually starting like having like questions like, is someone watching us? Or is someone, or maybe is there a beast who is gigantic outside, tends to watch in the house window? Do you get it? So you can see many characters here who are actually inside the house, and they don't even know if that house has been shrunken down into a tiny size. So now they're actually crashing out because they think outside there's actually like a gigantic creature or beast who's actually trying to look inside the tiny house. And now the characters who are inside the tiny house, they're actually freaking out and they're crashing out, which is actually insane, without even knowing like the person who's actually outside watching them is actually Frankie Foster, who's actually like a giantess now, because as you can see the house has been shrunken down. And I bet the character who is actually wearing like a king's costume, maybe he caused the shrunken of the house. I don't know.
Novak, there is something muy wrong with this house.
Ed, you have no idea.
Yes, there is something wrong in this house, but the issue is you don't know what it is because you're inside the house. So beast here, you're thinking like, oh, there's something wrong with the house. Yes, it is, because first you don't know if the house has been miniatured into a tiny size, and now if outside, like outside the house, if a character is actually moving, the tiny characters who are inside the house, they are going to feel the steps. So you may say like something is happening, but you don't know because you're tiny and you're inside the house. Maybe go outside the house so that you can see like the situation that is happening. Like, oh, so it means like our house has been shrunken down into a tiny size, and then we have different characters who are actually normal, like Frankie, who look like the giantess. I don't know, but they're crushing out. And the blue character looks exactly like Bob from Monster vs. Aliens. Tell me in the comments, do you think Bob, this like blue, look like the character from Monster vs. Aliens? Because they tend to look so similar.
I can't believe how much it looks like Foster's. You got every last detail.
I told you. They say, oh, there's something wrong with this house, and I say like, because the house is tiny, and now Frankie is actually being scammed. Like, hey, this is actually like a dollhouse, without realizing that that house is the same house that she's actually living. So you can see that another character is actually trying to scam Frankie, like, hey, you know what? This is a dollhouse that is actually looks like your actual home, without realizing like that's the actual house that the imaginary friends are living. And since now Frankie doesn't know anything and tends to carry that house, the characters who are inside, they tend to face different problems because now they're actually being tossed from one place to another because they're tiny, and now they can't do anything inside the house, and the house is tiny, and the house is actually being carried by Frankie, who's actually like a giantess character in this scene. That is actually crazy.
What? No, something just occurred to me.
Yes, I forgot to. I know one of the characters who is called Coco. Coco tend to lay eggs, and those eggs tend to have different stuff in it. It's crazy because I like Coco. Coco has her own theme song, which is called Coco Coco Coco. I used to like to sing that theme song when I was a kid, so it's actually crazy. And now they're running, and they're not even actually realize like the house is actually being tossed. So they're actually running towards, like, I don't know how they're going to escape, or how are they going to realize like the house is actually tiny.
Yeah, Frankie misunderstands. Why do we want to save her? She thinks we just want her to do, chores for us, you know?
Okay, you know what? Instead of running, maybe run fast. And the issue is, even if you run, you can't even escape because as you can see, you're running while the house is being tossed. So everything is actually moving from one place to another because as you can see, these characters are actually running, and then you can see like different pillows are moving around, different TVs are passing through them, which is actually scary. And they don't even know like in outside is Frankie, who's actually carrying the house, trying to geek out like, hey, this is actually an amazing dollhouse. It's actually amazing, without realizing the house that she's carrying is the same house that she used to live, or it's the same house that is actually the original home that she actually living.
She yelled us because she's proud to.
It's crazy. Just being able to climb upside down is actually scary. And the good part is, that's why I say my favorite character is Coco, because Coco, even though she can't even speak English or any language, she's just a chicken and she can just make it sounds normal. But now she's able to climb and carry Blue from upside, I don't know what to say, upside down of the house, because they're trying to climb. So I'm really curious to see like how can they be able to escape this situation, because it's scary.
Of course it's okay. We're never going to be able to tell if we don't. There's an inscription on.
Okay, I get it. So I think the characters who are inside the house, they know like, okay, the house has been like miniatured. So, and they know the person who's outside carrying the house is Frankie. I get it. So now they're trying like, hey, you know what? We know everything that has happened. We know the house is tiny now, and we know Frankie's outside who's actually carrying the house and tend to toss the house that makes us inside to feel actually horrible because now we're trying to escape, but the house is actually moving so rapidly so we can't even catch up in terms of running. And in order for us to be able to stop this, we need to go outside. We need to be able to reach outside so that we can tell Frankie the house that you're carrying is actually our home. It's not a dollhouse. So it means, Frankie, you have been scammed. You see that? This is why I'm getting that is why I'm getting from this scene. So the characters who are inside the tiny house knows the situation that happened that made that house to be tiny. So they're actually focusing on going outside so that they can reach Frankie, who doesn't know anything, because Frankie knows like, oh, this house is actually a dollhouse. But in reality, it's the same house like the characters were living in.
Bottom, too.
Really? To the nicest.
Okay, so I bet one of the characters is actually trying to scam Frankie. Is trying maybe to like cause maybe a revenge or something. I don't know. To make like, I don't know, to do something like to get even, if that is correct. He's trying to like be even, like, oh, you did this to me, you did bad things to me, so I'm doing this. So, and now the house is upside down, and now the characters are hanging, which is actually scary. I'm worried because I want to know if they're going to escape.
Person I ever met. Aw, you're the nicest. I swear it's like you don't have one mean bone in your body.
Guys, I'm sorry to bring this up. I mean, really, really sorry, but I don't think this rug is gonna hold as much longer.
Okay. The way Frankie doesn't know, like, the other character is actually evil, and they say like, hey, you know what? You're a good person. She's not. She's not. Is she a boy or girl? I don't know. I'm gonna like think like she's a guy. He's a guy. So he doesn't know like the kid is like an evil person, because the kid knows like that house has characters inside, and then you're telling Frank, you're able to tell Frankie like, hey, you know what? This is a present for you. So there's a message underneath the house, and when Frankie took the house and then placed it upside down and then tend to read that, the characters here who are actually inside the house, they're actually having problems because I can see they can't even move. So this scene is actually scary, and the issue is I'm actually like thinking like, how can they be able to escape? Because if they manage to escape, at least they can be able to make that kid pay. I don't know, but I'm wishing. To me, that is actually my wish.
If only it could remind you of Foster's while you stay here.
Oh, how thoughtful.
Wait, are you trying to like keep Frankie as prisoner because you are giving? Okay, I get it. I get the concept, because I don't know the actual like the main theme of this like episode. So I'm just going to use my own assumption. So I bet this kid wanted Frankie to stay in the house. So because Frankie was working in this like imaginary home, so instead of like making Frankie to go to work and stay a lot of time to the imaginary home, she had to miniature the house and then tend to make it like, hey, you know what, this is actually a present, so you can just take this house, so that if you are reminded of the home, you can be able to see it without realizing that the house is the same house that has the same characters who are actually shrunken down with the house itself. So I think she wants to keep Frankie. And is she Frankie's sister or something? Because it tends to look like that. I'm not actually sure, but I'm actually feeling this feeling like they're actually siblings. And this, like, the younger one wants Frankie to continue staying with her, so she decided to shrink the house, like take the house so that Frankie can be able to live with the house. But the issue is Frankie doesn't know the house is actually the real house that has tiny characters inside.
You're too good to me. Good spot for it.
Okay, I get it. So they are siblings. Now I get it. They are siblings, which is crazy. And as you can see, there's like an amount of jealousy that kid was showing when he was hugging Frankie. So now I get it. So I bet the kid was actually jealous, like, hey, you know what? This is my big sister. So why my big sister has to spend a lot of time with these imaginary friends who are actually weird and creepy as hell? Because as you can see, just by their own appearance, they look so creepy. So why does Frankie has to live with you a lot of time instead of me, who are actually like a young sister of hers? So she shrunk down the house and shrunk down these imaginary friends so they can be able to go anywhere, and then gifted the house to Frankie as like, hey, you know what? This is a dollhouse and it's a present. So if you are reminded for the house that you used to work on, you can just look at this dollhouse and you can be okay. But the real thing is she shrunk the actual house where like the imaginary friends are actually living, and now I don't know how are they going to escape, which is actually insane. This is actually crazy. This is actually crazy. In different cartoons, I think it's like the Imaginary Friends is my favorite cartoons, and I used to watch it. If you don't know, I used to watch it in Cartoon Network. The issue now is when I click I start watching like Cartoon Network shows. All the shows that I used to watch back in the days, they're not being aired. There's no Ben 10. There's no Tom and Jerry. There's no Eddie and Ed. There's no what is called Powerpuff Girls. There's no. Nowadays, if you're going to watch Cartoon Network, you're going to experience only other cartoons like Teen Titans and other cartoons. But the original cartoons that used to be aired in Cartoon Network now, they're not even being aired anymore. Is it because maybe since Cartoon Network was sold to Warner Brothers, or a Time Warner company, so now some of the cartoons that will be shown there are going to be part of like DC universe or something? Because a lot of cartoons that tend to be shown in Cartoon Network now, most of the time is Teen Titans, and as we know like Teen Titans is part of like DC universe or something. So I'm really curious because the cartoons that we used to watch since we were kids, like Ed and Ed, or maybe Powerpuff and other cartoons, are not being aired anymore. So I'm really curious. To people who knows the actual story, like why nowadays Cartoon Network are not actually able to air these cartoons, you can tell me in the comments, because I'm really curious. Because now when you're going to watch Cartoon Network, you're going to see different small portion of the cartoons. First you're going to watch maybe Teen Titans, and then after Teen Titans you can go and watch another one like what? Not Doom Patrol, but I haven't watched that. There's what is called that? There's another cartoon that is actually cool. It's cool, but also yes, I don't understand that. So I don't even understand. So you can tell me in the comments if you know the actual story. Maybe the Cartoon Network sold their company to maybe a Time Warner company. That's what you can see now. Cartoons that used to be aired at that time will not be able to be aired. I don't know. This is just my own assumption. So you can tell me in the comments what you think. Leave a like to this video, and if you're new to this YouTube channel, please subscribe, because if you're subscribing, you'll help us reaching 6,000 subscribers milestone, because we're actually trying to aim to that. Yes, I know we are actually growing slowly, and that's actually cool, because as you can see, we're trying to grow slowly our channel, and I know we are going to reach the milestone soon. So yeah, you can go to subscribe to my second channel,